Catholic Radio hosted an up-and-close experience of what some consider the most studied artifact of all time. Check out your screen. It's the Shroud of Turin. Some believe the shroud to be the authentic burial cloth of Christ. The Man of the Shroud exhibit, which was on display at the St. Boniface Catholic Church Rectory, included 42 design panels teaching the history and journey of the shroud and a replica of the shroud. And an expert there calls it a symbol of hope for many believers.
Well, we're bringing the message of the shroud to people as a message of hope, because the resurrection is the greatest hope we can have. And by viewing the shroud, people can make their own decision regarding the authenticity of it.
Today was the last day to take in the exhibit in Sioux City. It will now make its way to Kansas City for viewing next week.